So my name is Keith Nutter, and this semester I've had the pleasure of serving as the team leader for the Oklahoma Funding Accelerator team. Before we get started with the presentation, we wanted to say thank you from the team and I to a couple of specific groups of people. So first of all, I'd like to personally thank the team for all of their hard work and their commitment to each of their projects throughout this semester. Watching this team come together to develop innovative and creative solutions to each of their projects was an incredibly satisfying experience, considering the wide array of problems that we were tackling. Next up, I'd like to personally thank the team for putting up with weekly 8 a.m. meetings and making those not only bearable, but as enjoyable as a weekly 8 a.m. meeting can possibly be. Their enthusiasm and willingness to discuss absurdly hypothetical questions at length was much appreciated, and I think that was definitely a reflection of our positive team culture. Next, we'd like to extend a thank you to staff for the constant feedback and support throughout the problem-solving process. Thank you guys for making sure that we're always working hard, working on the right things, and having fun. More importantly, we'd like to thank staff for making sure that our Tuesday night dinner plans were absolutely never in doubt, and that we could always rely on the better ingredients, better pizza from Papa John's. And last but definitely not least, we'd like to thank everybody in attendance tonight for the support. We truly appreciate it. I'm incredibly excited for the team to showcase all the hard work they've put in this semester. So without further ado, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce the 2019 Fall Oklahoma Funding Accelerator team.
Keith, thank you for that wonderful introduction. Thank you all for being here tonight. I want to introduce myself, my team. The four of us together make up the OFA team. Over the course of this semester, we each worked with our own client respectively in a one-on-one consulting capacity. My name is Austin. I'm a senior finance and entrepreneurship major from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and I've worked with Optochemia.
My name is Leo. I'm a senior studying accounting and finance. I'm from Taiwan. This semester, I have the pleasure to work with Black Mesa.
Hi, my name is Eva Sparks. I'm a senior studying international business and supply chain management from Norman, Oklahoma, and this semester I've had the opportunity to work with Simple Modern.
Hi, my name is Kel Powers. I'm a senior studying finance. I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and this semester I've had the pleasure of working with Interconnection.
Optochemia is a pre-revenue technical startup with a recent innovation in spectroscopy. Their technology can be incorporated in a sensor that provides continuous real-time analysis. They can provide cheaper and more precise method of measurement than any current solution on the market. This makes them an ideal candidate paired with their ability to do lab precision testing on site, an ideal candidate for environmental testing. The goal of this project was to identify a market for Optochemia to operate in. After an initial screen, we identified environmental testing as the ideal market because Optochemia's technology has direct application. Once we selected environmental testing, we evaluated several contaminant groups to select the best group. Polyfluorinated alkyl substances, or PFAS for short, was ultimately selected because there's no current market solution that adequately tests for this market contaminant. PFAS is commonly found in DoD properties, airports, refineries, and fire training facilities. It is also a well-known carcinogen, and its toxic side effects are well reported. Optochemia can sell its technology in the form of product to environmental consultants wishing to test for PFAS. In return for providing a sensor, Optochemia will generate $100,000 in revenue. The environmental consultant then can take this product and use it in the assessment and remediation for their ultimate clients. Now, $100,000 might seem like a high price tag for one device, but that's until you compare it to similar technology with price around $200,000. Not to mention, Optochemia's technology is far superior. Other technology currently operates in the part per billion detection range. Optochemia is seeking to perform parts per trillion detection range. Across 15 states, we've identified 71 potential customers. Although it's 71, it's expected to rapidly grow as there's 26,000 potential end users or test sites spread across the entire United States. Data suggests that Optochemia should focus on these 15 states with regulation because they provide the most optimal environment. Of these 15 states, they can be categorized into 3 different types. 2 states require mandatory cleanup when the PFAS contaminants are identified. 5 states require possible cleanup, and 8 states require public notification when this contaminant has been identified. Optochemia should target Massachusetts and New Hampshire because the mandatory cleanup when PFAS is identified creates an immediate demand for Optochemia's product for the environmental consultants. Next, they should target the 5 states that require possible cleanup. If they're able to successfully enter these 7 states with 100% market penetration, they will obtain $5.7 million of a total $7.1 million market. That's over 80%. Not to mention it's growing. For Optochemia to be successful in this market, it needs to do 3 critical things. First, it needs to develop a proof of concept and identify early stage partners. Next, it needs to validate its sensor with field tests. And lastly, it needs to develop an EPA approved method for testing to go after the 26,000 potential test sites across the nation when those are ultimately adopted. And with that, I now want to hand it off to Leo to talk about Black Mesa.
Thank you, Austin. Black Mesa is an award-winning craft beer brewery in Norman that strives to deliver high-quality and unique craft beer to its customers. The brewery moved from Oklahoma City to Norman, believing that Norman craft beer market is underserved. Right now, Black Mesa is trying to grow sales through local establishments in Norman, such as restaurants, bars, and pubs. Currently, Black Mesa is struggling to increase its profitability. To approach this problem, I break down my work plan into 3 phases. The first one is to identify specific drivers that would improve Black Mesa's profitability. The second is to identify best practices from the chosen drivers. Lastly is to forecast the financial impact based on the recommendations. After talking to local establishments, breweries, and some brewing professionals, Black Mesa should be focusing on marketing and production control. By focusing on marketing, Black Mesa are required to spend $8,000, which in return will give Black Mesa $43,000 of gross profit in return. By focusing on production control, Black Mesa will require to spend $4,000 of one-time capital investment, which in return will give Black Mesa a 16% reduction in product costs. After talking to local establishments, breweries, and serving 300 Oklahoma craft beer drinkers, Black Mesa should use 4 marketing strategies to maximize its return on investments. There are 3 marketing tools that Black Mesa can use. The first one is to give out buy one get one free coasters. The second is to give out beer at the tap room. Lastly is to attend events and festivals. After quantifying all the potential marketing strategies that Black Mesa can use, there are 4 marketing strategies that have the highest ROI. The first one is to give out buy one get one free coasters at houses restaurants. The second is to do beer release event at restaurant. The third is to attend festivals in Norman. Lastly is to give out buy one get one free coasters at a non-alcoholic event. Due to the current budget constraint, Black Mesa should focus on the marketing strategy that has the highest return on investment. Black Mesa should give out buy one get one free coasters at House's restaurants. After talking to 20 local establishments in Norman, House's restaurants' customer demographics are closely related to craft beer drinkers. By giving out these coasters to these restaurants, the restaurant's customers can take these coasters to the tap room, which will encourage Black Mesa's sales in the tap room. Research has also shown that 70% of people who attended the tap room will likely to purchase the beer again in the future. Black Mesa can reduce the cost of IPA by about 16% through labor specialization and yeast propagation program. After talking to the breweries in Oklahoma, Black Mesa's cost of IPA is about 20% higher than the average. Black Mesa can use labor specialization to reduce the cost of IPA by 11%, allowing its laborers to specialize in each production stage. Black Mesa can reduce the cost of IPA by about 5% through purchasing yeast propagation equipment to reduce ingredient waste. Overall, Black Mesa reduced the cost of IPA by about 16% with an overall cost of $4,000. Moving forward, Black Mesa should send out buy one get one free coasters at House's restaurants. They should assign brewers to each production stage through training. Lastly, they should buy yeast propagation equipment to further reduce the cost. Now I pass it to Eva to talk about Simple Modern. Thank you.
Thanks, Leo. Simple Modern is a lifestyle drinkware brand based in Norman, Oklahoma. They offer a variety of sweat-free water bottles and tumblers that combine quality, style, and value. Although their primary revenue is currently derived through domestic online sales, they're also currently selling product in China and Western Europe. In order to further diversify their customer base and expand revenues, Simple Modern aims to expand into new international markets. In order to help them with this task, I first pinpointed ideal markets based on an initial scan. In the second phase of work, I worked to identify market entry product features for the respective market, and currently I've been working on a market entry strategy for Simple Modern in the new market. Simple Modern should focus efforts on the Japanese market. Japan, Australia, and India were all identified as markets that have growing e-commerce rates and interest in foreign goods. Japan, however, benefits from a high urban population, a population that's interested in similar products that what Simple Modern has to offer, as well as a mean average price of a water or drinkware container that's very similar to what Simple Modern would have on the market. Simple Modern can place their existing products to fit consumer archetypes and consumer expectations in Japan. You can see on the screen here there are 3 main archetypes of products in the drinkware market in Japan in order of their prevalence here on the screen. The first is the mobile mug, which is a product that is lightweight, easy to carry, and leak-proof. The next is the two-way container, which enables the consumer to share the product with another individual. And lastly, the tumbler, which unlike in the United States, in Japan is actually used more in the home, primarily to chill beer. On the right here, you can see that Simple Modern offers a solution for every single one of these consumer archetypes except for the middle, which is the two-way cup. While this provides a great opportunity for product development for Simple Modern moving forward, there's another product that Simple Modern currently offers that will be wildly successful in the Japanese market. Simple Modern's food jar line proves to be an attractive product in the Japanese market with an estimated market size of $330.4 million. While in the United States, this product is not wildly popular, primarily because it is used only seasonally by Americans, Japanese high consumption of soup, rice, and noodles make this a product that can be used and enjoyed year-round. Additionally, 20% of the top-rated reviews on Amazon indicate a consumer desire for additional colors, which clearly is something that Simple Modern can offer at a competitive price as well. Simple Modern should enter the Japanese market on Amazon before pursuing a selling strategy with Rakuten. There are 2 main e-commerce platforms in Japan, Amazon and Rakuten. Simple Modern should leverage their existing relationship with Amazon in order to establish market entry. However, in order to fully capitalize on the entire Japanese population, Simple Modern should also pursue a selling strategy on Rakuten in the future. However, the high variable and fixed costs associated with selling on Rakuten make this a less profitable entry point for Simple Modern. As soon as Simple Modern is comfortable with their sales on Amazon, they should expand into Rakuten. The break-even point for selling on Rakuten is just under 1,700 units on an annual basis, and when Simple Modern is confident in their ability to meet this goal on Rakuten is when they should expand into that e-commerce platform as well. Moving forward, Simple Modern should establish their relationship with Amazon Japan and work to build out their storefront and product listings. They should also begin to monitor both the popularity and the sales of their product on Amazon. And again, upon the confidence of reaching 1,700 units on an annual basis, they should expand to be selling on Rakuten as well. And I'll pass it off to Kale to talk more about interconnection.
Thank you, Eva. Interconnection is a movement therapy clinic that specializes in serving people with muscular and skeletal pain. They are based in Oklahoma City. They specialize in Thai massage, and their current clients are in Oklahoma City and Norman. Interconnection aspires to increase brand awareness and obtain new customers. This project was broken into 3 different phases. The first was to determine an optimal target market. Second was to create marketing strategies towards that target market. And finally was to develop discount options and forecast financials. Interconnection should focus on advertising towards organizations in the physically active market. 75% of the Oklahoma physically active market is ranged in the fitness members, runners, dancers, and yoga members, also known as yogis. After talking to various people in these categories, it was very determined that they all have common lower body injuries. These injuries occur around 3 to 4 times per year, implying that there is high demand for movement therapy. After talking to various organizations within these categories, they are all interested in interconnection services. The top organizations in each category is 4-Star Fitness, Red Coyote Running Club, Everything Goes Dance Studio, and Pilates on Western. If interconnection is to distribute flyers to these 4 organizations, as well as 10 to 15 other already interested organizations, they could add 20 new customers by 1,000 flyers. Interconnection should arrange partnerships with chiropractors to receive new customers through referrals. After talking to around 30 different chiropractors in the Oklahoma City area, it was determined that 33% of chiropractors currently do not have a partnership. After these interviews with the chiropractors highlighted the most 3 important factors in forming a partnership, which is professionalism, reliability, and relationship. This is a strength for Interconnection because Allison has over 500 hours in different therapy training and is a licensed massage therapist. There is a strong precedent for setting a chiropractic partnership through the fact that 47% of chiropractors in Oklahoma City are already partnered, and other massage therapies rely on their chiropractic partnerships for steady consumer growth. One partnership for Interconnection would lead around 1 to 2 referrals per week. Interconnection can target individual consumers and increase their recurring customers through Google Ads, reviews and testimonials, and email marketing. Google Ads puts Interconnection at the top of the search engine and allows consumers to find them easily using keywords such as movement therapy, massage and OKC, and various keywords like that. Reviews and testimonials adds credibility to Interconnection services. Data survey shows that 90% of consumers read at least 1 review before making their purchasing decision. And finally, email marketing increases recurring customers. Using MailChimp, a bi-weekly mass email can reach their entire customer base. Using these current recommended marketing strategies, Interconnection could grow their profit by 400% in the next 6 months. This profit boost is mainly derived by the multitude of organizational consumers, along with the ability for Interconnection to partner with different chiropractors, and then the consistent growth of profit through email marketing, ads, and reviews. The next steps for Interconnection would be to create and distribute flyers to the organizations that are interested in Interconnection, register for Google Ads, reviews, and MailChimp, and then finally contact the 3 chiropractors interested in partnering to arrange their initial meeting. Before we open the floor to questions, I just want to give a huge shout out to Keith Nutter, our team lead, Haley Rader, our fellow, the entire I-CCEW staff, and most importantly, our clients. We had an absolute blast working with them, and we're really excited to see their growth and the opportunities that are ahead of them in the future. I'll now open the floor to questions.
Yes.
This is a question for Simple Modern. So how do you plan to stay competitive versus Japanese firms who don't have to pay export tariffs?
Yeah, so if I understand your question correctly, you're asking about how do we stay competitive with Japanese firms that don't have to pay export tariffs? Yeah, so with the cost that Simple Modern takes, their cost of goods sold is relatively low, and their price will still be able to remain competitive. If you remember on one of my last slides, I had the average selling price at $18.99, which would be a practical selling price for Simple Modern, which is also under the average selling price of a similar bottle in Japan. So the key players in the Japanese market in the drinkware area are actually, many of them are also foreign players. Yeah.
We have time for one more question.
Don't let them off easy.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe for each, what of all of these you presented, what do you think was the biggest, your most important insight on the biggest impact for your client?
I can go ahead and get started.
Maybe they weren't expecting.
Yeah, so I think for my client, the biggest impact is the potential popularity of the food jar line in Japan. It's actually a product that they've mentioned is not performing very well in the United States. They actually have a large inventory of them, and so I think that's something that they were really interested in. I think that will help them not only get rid of their inventory, but also be successful in that market.
My biggest impact will be changing my client's mind about is marketing strategy. So the most prominent strategies for breweries of the size is using social media or attending beer festivals. But after surveying 300 craft beer drinkers in Oklahoma, only about 10 to 15% of craft beer drinkers attending beer festivals. And not only that, social media is actually not a good strategy in terms of considering its return on investments.
The biggest insight that I've found while working with Optechemia this semester was ultimately looking into the PFAS market. The client was actually focused more on contaminants in the VOC group, which are derived from petroleum products. But through customer research and expert interviews, discovered there's a much greater need for PFAS and an unfulfilled market that Optechemia can capitalize on.
Awesome. And then I believe is the organizational consumers, just from the sheer fact that they're all physically active and there were unique opportunities that came through them. There was one, I was 4-Star Fitness, talking to their manager, and he wanted Interconnection, or Allison, the client, to come in during the holidays and work inside of their gym for a week or two just around the holidays for their clients. There are also different running organizations that would wanted her to set up, a shop right outside of where their race finishes, like different 5Ks, to where she can also increase brand awareness through that and get to meet new people around the Oklahoma City area.